Good morning, Vietnam. Shout out to Robert Williams. That guy used to make me laugh, and you know what I guess the newer version of that would be "Hello, Wisconsin." Anyway, what's good, Somerset? What's good, my friend list? What's good, America? What's good, world? Everyone in the world, because I'm an everybody guy. I'm not a Jamaican, an American, and another. I'm a citizen of the world. They can't take me. They can't deport me from the world. I don't need an ID to show that I belong in the world. You know what my ID is to show that I belong here? Boop, 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 boop. Right here. Anyway, I forgot to mention something on the first video that I made this morning, about time. That one was called People, Places, and Things. And I wanted to, it looks like this is a continuation, and that actually is logical, because if I did one whole video on time, it would take like 4 hours, maybe even 5 hours. If I went into all the aspects, the nuances, and the crevices, and the little minutia details, the minute details that go into time, and the all the machinations of it, it would be like a 5, maybe a 10-hour video. So I just give little piece by piece as I realize them in my mind. I have them written down in a book already, but I don't feel like reading when I already have the stuff in my head. So I just like try to talk to you real, because I figure instead of sounding like one of these, you know what I mean? I don't want to sound like Ben. What's that dude's name off of Ferris Bueller? Bueller. I don't want to come off like that. You know what I mean? I want to be real, because that's what you are. You're real, though you pretend like you're better than thou, holier than thou. Oh, I'm better than that person. You know what I mean? But you're real. I'm talking to the inner you, the you that you're when you're away from society. The you that's not pretending. That's the you I'm talking to. Because I know the real you. Because I know myself. So that's how I'm able to know the real you. Anyway, let's talk about routine. All right, let's talk about routine. And routine, if you think about it, is an algorithm or a computer application that you're building in your mind. Because we're all computer programs, by the way. We're always developing apps in our mind on how to go about handling the situations that come up in life and what to do next time that we come up on those situations. So we build programs or algorithms in our minds, a sequence of steps that we will take when let's say the first time I learned how to pour a cup of water, it didn't go so well. But then after a few times of doing it, eventually I got good at pouring water. Same thing with any activity we do. Some people are able to do them, it seems perfect on the first one, but even them, they're still practicing and establishing an algorithm or a routine, a sequence of how to perform that activity. Now, with that said, let me show you how routine messed me up. Or routine can mess us both up, mess everyone up when there's a change in the routine. Ooh. I like this one. I feel like Sherlock Holmes. That's like one of my favorite movies. The one with who's the dude that plays Iron Man? He's a recovering crackhead, you know. But I bet we all forgot that. And you know what? He's a perfect example that goes to show you that drug addicts are people too. And drug addicts are talented. It's the drugs that make them bad. It's the drugs that rob them of the person they are and leave them to be zombies. But anyway, let's keep this one a routine. I got one for you guys, for the people that are addicted to drugs, because they get the raw stick. They get the raw at the bad end of this deal, the raw end of this deal. They're the ones who get tough love, but nobody gives them the hard truth. Well, today I will give my drug addict friends the confidence they need to know that they are more than what society tells them they are, and that it is society's fault why they're drug addicts. While society's pointing the finger at you, it is them that make you guys the way that you are. Anyway, back to routine. That's for the next video. Um, there was a there's a system. There's a system that we got worked out for getting my daughter dressed, and that is the night before, when she gets showered, we put fresh underwear on her. So in the morning when I get her dressed, I don't ever have to change her underwear. Because what would be the point of that? Just wearing underwear for a few hours at night and then you change it and add it to your dirty laundry? Sorry, we're not rich like that. And to me, her underwear is still clean. So one day, and on nights when she doesn't get a shower, because it would be like every other night we give her a shower. On nights when she doesn't get showered, we change her underwear. We make sure that we change her underwear for that day. So one day, it was like an early Sunday. It was sometime during a Sunday, because since there was no daycare that day, or excuse me, daycare was in the next day. It was a Sunday night, and Roya had gotten a shower during the day. Normally she gets showers at night. So during that Sunday, she ended up going off with her grand uncle. Yeah, she went off with her grand uncle and her grandmom, and they went off somewhere. They took her out somewhere. So the next day, she needed. I assumed that she hadn't showered, so I didn't change her underwear. And then the next morning after that, I realized, wait a minute, underwear so dirty. How could your underwear get dirty in one day? Not realizing that she had the same underwear on for a day and a half. In fact, I guess it would be, when you count overnight, it would have been 2 days. So because there was an interruption, an unrealized interruption in the routine, in the algorithm, in the sequence, I ended up messing up. And I had to admit to my own fault. But you know how I realized that I messed up? I went back in time. I went back through the sequence of steps to find out how could the dirty underwear have gotten this way. That's how I was able to establish my mistake. Second example of routine. This Easter weekend. Oh, and boy, I could do some videos on the fakeness of Easter and how holidays are just days that used to be holy days. Now we call them holly jolly days. When everyone pretends to be, oh, we're so cool, aren't we? Let's be cool with each other. Happy Easter, everybody. Happy Easter. Let's go make events for the kids. Don't the kids any other day. But let's make events for the kids on Easter. We care. While we're teaching them about Good Fridays, about the day that gets murdered. And here's another day when on Easter he rises from the dead. I mean, what is wrong with us? No one stops to say, hey, this is a little crazy to be teaching kids this. But no, it's a holiday for the kids. It's to indoctrinate them. Notice all of a sudden, when I was coming up, when did presents start being given out on Easter? Is that in the Bible? Like, first you guys took it to, let's have a bunny. All of a sudden, Jesus needs to be replaced by a bunny. He can't carry the holiday by himself. We need to throw another rapper on the song with him, on the CD with him. Now, pump and tune. Okay, yeah, I can get into this Easter. Easter's more cool now. Kind of like what they did to Christmas with Santa Claus. Ho, ho, ho. Anyway, so boom. They decided to throw in, oh yeah, that's right, routine. I'll attack Easter on another day. Because, man, it's so fake. But anyway, routine. So, all of a sudden, suddenly, kids don't have to go to school on Easter Monday. Another change in the matrix. Because when I was coming up, I don't remember anything about Easter Monday. There was no extended vacation. You went to school that day. But of course, we want to make these dumb, so it makes sense to give them more holidays. Thank you, Mom, for making us do schoolwork in the morning on those days. My mom would always make us do schoolwork on days that we had off, as if we were still in school. She would make us at least do 2 hours work before we would go outside. By the way, which is why I knew 12 times 12 by the time I was like 9 or 5, whatever it is that my mom like put that in me. Like my mom made me a genius early. I will give her that in memorization. That's what she did. She made me a genius in memorization. She didn't make me a genius in thinking, in calculating, but she made sure that I read. Well, my dad was the one on me reading everything, the business section, the sports section, the political. That's the reason why I know all this stuff. It's because it's as if I've been groomed for this. That's what's wild. It's like time has groomed me to be able to be like to have all this knowledge, to be able to share it to you in the way that is properly supposed to be shared, instead of how TV tries to give it to you, how the preachers try to, because it's all fake. They're all fake. That's the reason why. That's another thing. Their routine. This is why I don't like lying. This is why I can catch people in lies. Mom used to always tell me, lies are too hard to keep up with, son. It's no point in being a liar. And I used to, whatever, I'm going to be a liar. Boom. I get to lying. I realize Mom is right. A perfect example of this is a player, whether it be a female or a male player. They'll have like 5 partners on rotation that they call, play within their phone, text all the time. And you know they're texting the other one while they're not texting you. You know what I mean? You know they're calling the other one while they're not calling you. And eventually, you know what happens? Because it's so hard to keep up with your lies, you end up crossing. You end up crossing and calling one person or sending a message to someone that you shouldn't have sent it to. And then you try to play it off on that one. Why even do it? But you know what? That's what guys like Bill O'Reilly, Tiger Woods, preachers, politicians, that's what they all like to do. They all like to keep lying. And because sequence of time, because of the way the sequence of time is structured, eventually your lies always catch up to you. Kind of like how now the society's been able to go forth with all these lies. It's built on complete lies from Jump Street. That means from the very tiniest infinitesimal foundation of this society, capitalism is built on deception / lies. We can, any of you patriots that history, please, if you'd like to debate me on that, I would be glad to humble myself and allow you to speak first. Or if you'd like, I kind of think I'm giving you the luxury of realizing the argument I'm going to come with, because I know you can't argue around it. Anyway, you can't keep up with lies. The structure of time doesn't allow us to keep up with lies. Eventually those lies catch up, because all you have to do is pause and you get caught up. Notice when there's people embezzling, you know when they get caught? When they take a vacation. That's why embezzlers take years for them to get caught, because they know don't leave the books. Never leave the books. And then they forget, oh man, let me change my routine a little bit and go take a vacation. Always when you get caught. Always when your lies catch up. When do your lies catch up to you? Think about it. It's once you pause in keeping up with your story that you've already, the fabricated story that you've created. That's how Tiger Woods got caught. That's how Bill O'Reilly, Mr. Highly Moral. Hey, great endorser, by the way, evangelicals. I hear there's a bunch of evangelicals blaming the women, that saying that the women are liars, and that Bill O'Reilly should be put back on the air. You see how programmed these women are. But they're talking about, oh, I'm a free woman. You're as bad as a woman in a Muslim country. You're as subjected and subjugated as a woman in a Muslim country. So women who get sexually harassed, they should just not report it. They should just take it. That's what women are telling these other women. Just take it. You know what it reminds you of? The argument of black on black crime. It's woman on woman crime. And what a coincidence. Both of those groups are the ones that Socrates or Plato says that should be subjugated. Or, excuse me, actually Plato, to his credit, wanted in his Republic for women to be equal. Aristotle wanted them to be subjugated, wanted blacks thought blacks and women should always be low. Aristotle did not believe in any equality for women, which is why you ever notice I never say he's one of the greatest philosophers. He's the guy who like sparked, him and Thomas Aquinas sparked that 1,000 years of just religion in Europe. That's the reason why I'm completely anti-Aristotle. It is one of Plato's stories where he articulated about how slaves and women should be treated lower than men. And these who defend this patriarchal system of pedophile man love, hello, if you have a system of patriarchy, which means the honoring of exclusively men, you raise kids up in that, it's not the TV that's making people gay. The system is designed to end up gay. It's fundamentally based in gay. It's based in homosexuality. What do you call a system of man love? Who loves men? Any of you patriarch historians, scholars, I will be more than happy to lay you down with logic. With mathematics, logic is Aristotle's word. I like to use nature's math. Because even he messed up in his logic. Notice he didn't get to the conclusions that I made it to. That is the point that I'm trying to show you here. I do 100% grant that I have the runway of all the previous philosophers and thinkers in history and science and religion, politics, and all that knowledge. I had the chance to study those things. And I didn't allow my, because I used to be in addiction. I smoked wet. In fact, I was a big lover of wet. You know what I mean? Embalming fluid all the way, baby. I'm invincible. And I am not romanticizing nor endorsing that. It puts holes in your brains. Made me a crazy thinker. It's just now that I'm finally getting a handle on my thoughts. But what I'm trying to show you is that you don't have to make an excuse as to why you go off the rails. You can always stop yourself before you go over the edge. You can always stop yourself because you've been given that ability. Back to the routine in Easter. So because there was an Easter Monday, I got community service on Wednesdays or on any day that he calls me, but he needed me this Wednesday. So I'm thinking, okay, good, I'm cool. You know what I mean? I love working at the place that I'm working at, because at that food pantry, because the old people there are really like, they're so filled with like knowledge. None of them are ever on their smartphone because they assume that they're the smart ones, which is why I give a hand to those people. But anyway, those people are so cool in there. Dan, the pilot dude, he's been a pilot, a grocery guy. This man is like a bastion of knowledge. So I always try to like poke at him, you know what I mean, and test out my theories on him to see how he'll respond. That's why I can make these videos, because I've tested my theories out on the smartest that I know. And when I saw that they were, that's when I realized, I must be doing something. My dumb behind that society tells you that I'm dumb. What did that DA say? What did good old Lisa say to my lawyer? That I'm like not on her level or something? Man, I think I've shown you how many times you're not on my level, Lisa. Haven't I? You know what I mean? And at this point, I don't care. Do you realize that? If I was invested in society, if society was like, even the people I see that's being pooped on in society, they're the ones who still are supporting this crap. It ain't gonna be me. It's not gonna be me. I'm gonna call you out for what it is. I see my boy Jizz. Thank you, my boy Gene. Here it is, my boy Jizz. Love him to death, man. Love him to death. But after 10 years, I talked to this man. It's like he ain't changed a bit. He's still in his routine. Why? Because some drug company wants to make Adderall available to him all the time. But I got a whole video that coming up about the drugs. Let's get back to the routine, because that's my boy, man. I'm tired of this system keeping my people, my friends, addicts. It is not the addicts that make themselves addicts. First off, it's something that happens. There I go again. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, man. Routine. So I got thrown. So I'm supposed to be going to the food pantry on Wednesday, right? Boom. Easter Monday happened. Vacation happened. So I'm watching my daughter. In fact, if you remember correctly, if you remember the videos on Monday, I had to like stop on real quick because my daughter went to the toilet and she can't wipe herself, so I had to go wipe her and end the video. So Boom. On Wednesday, guess what happens? I'm thinking it's Tuesday. So I completely forget to make it to be around my old people and get that wisdom for the day. You know what I mean? So Thursday morning, I'm looking at my phone. It says Thursday on autopilot. I'm already in my application. I'm already in my routine. I know the sequence of steps that I'm supposed to go through. I assume it's Wednesday, even though my phone clearly says Thursday. I turn on Good Morning America. What's the other one? This is Today. Sometimes I watch Today, but I like to see Michael Strahan. You know what I mean? Matt Lauer is fake for too long for me. Now I like to see Michael Strahan be fake. But anyway, so I turn on Good Morning America. There it is, Thursday. But I go to the food pantry anyway. On the door, I see the car there, so I'm like, yeah, everything's cool. You know what I mean? I get dropped off, I wave by. I'm at the door, I'm shaking it, jiggling it. I'm like, what is this, locked? Why is it locked? The people are coming for their food. So I look on my phone, call up Dan. He's the supervisor, the pilot to co-pilot. He always sends me these texts about when the space station's gonna fly over. I think I'm gonna start posting those on the internet too, so that you guys can see it. It's awesome. It's awesome. Just I love staring at the sky. But anyway, so I call up Dan. I'm like, Dan, what's going on? And he's like, what do you mean what's going on? I was like, we got food pantry. He's like, no, we don't. It's Thursday. And I was like, what? What do you mean it's Thursday? It's Wednesday. So I look at my phone. Oh my God. It does say Thursday. So he's like, don't worry about it. I forgot to. His wife, Luann, sweet lady. She's the one who did everything yesterday. And he was like, don't worry about it. We don't need you till next week. But I felt so bad. I felt like I let him down. You know what I mean? I felt so, that is, man, I hate letting people down. Everyone that I know, they don't understand. It's like I start out with this thing of trying to help, and maybe sometimes because I have things wrong in my head, the help will turn, I'll be too aggressive with it in a way maybe, or I'll approach it wrong. And then it'll end up messing up, and then I'll be like, man, I owe this person, I have to get that right again. And I might not be able to fix it at that moment, but never forget, in my mind, I'm always thinking I have to fix that situation because things bother me. I'm not one of these sociopaths where things don't bother. I've tried drinking my way into sociopathness. I've tried smoking weed in my way to be a sociopath. I've tried smoking wet in order to forget. And Xannies. But you know what? Xannies made me forget too much, especially when I combine them with alcohol. I told myself, wait a minute, do I want to forget all my 20s? Because I'm beginning to forget months. You know what I mean? Like, people talk about what we did last night, and I'm like, what? What are you talking about? Last night, and I'm really, really trying my hardest to remember it. Couldn't remember a thing. So that's when I said I better leave the Xannies alone. I just quit drinking maybe 2 years ago. Even though I do drink wine on occasion, because wine's nice. Anyway, but you see how an interruption in my routine, the interruption in your routine throws you off. It's an interruption in the sequence. It will throw you off. So you actually have, being humans, nature's algorithm is set. Everything's algorithm is set. But you know what's beautiful about being human? We have the ability to change our algorithm. We do not have to live like this. Society does not have to be like this just because the preachers say it's okay to be that way. Just because the politicians say it's okay to be that way. Just because you inherited the beliefs of your parents and they, oh, I'm a Republican, so you got to be raised to be a Republican. I like country, so you got to like country. I like guns, so you got to like guns. I like to shoot Bambi like Elmer Fudd. You gotta learn how to shoot at Bambi like Elmer Fudd. Like, I seen some kid holding like this huge semi-automatic Rambo, Commando, Arnold Schwarzenegger gun, and everybody's under the guise of we're teaching her hunting. Everybody on Facebook's like, oh yay, oh my God, look at that, he's such a good father. Are you crazy? Are you crazy? This man is not a good father. He's teaching his child to kill people. That is not parenting. I don't care what you do. Why don't you teach your child to calculate? Teach your child 12 times 12. But instead, no, let's teach them how to support a system that doesn't support you. Talking about, oh, Donald Trump's going to support us. How's it working out? And I don't think I'm like an apologist for Hillary. Rest in peace, Gaddafi. That's what I got to say about Hillary. So don't even let me go there with that. I'm not a party affiliated. I am up. You know my allegiance? My allegiance is to human beings. And you know about what I think about the word human already. I am not patriotic to no country, because the country are the people. But instead, you know what you're being patriotic to? A flag. A flag and government. I already told you, government demarcated itself from the people. It could care less about you. When you're talking about USA, 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 that means you motherfuckers are not involved. Tell me again. When Wall Street took all that money during the financial crisis, that sparked the Great Recession of 2008, 2009, and we're still coming out of, did you get your cut? White people, black people, did you get your cut? Because I'll tell you what, the Mozilla dude from what was that? Not FHA. What was he in charge of? Fannie Mae and Sally. Yeah, Sally. Is it Sally Mae and Freddie Mac and Fannie? That dude walked away with $300 million for running the country, running those companies into the ground. Eugene, you crash your truck and get a nice severance package for messing up your truck? Can any poor man out here mess up their job and get a nice severance package for it? Well, I want you to review all those guys from the financial crisis and look what they all got. From Jamie Dimon, my boy works for that company too, man. This is my boy in trouble, but he knows his company's corrupt. Jamie Dimon, what's that black dude from is it Morgan Stanley? I don't know his name, but he was running Morgan Stanley. He ran that company into the ground. $30 million severance. The chick who runs Yahoo right now, she used to Google, Marissa Mayer. And she's a cute little thing. She's a cute woman with a brain. So I thought, until I realized what she did to Yahoo. Like, this chick. And you know what she gets for messing up Yahoo? $50 million severance package. That's her stock options. It's a self-defeating system. We have to break out of our routine. The routine of inherited beliefs. It's all false. Take a minute and be the cerebral being you are born to be. You are not addicts. You are not drunks. You don't have to do what your daddy told you to do because your daddy said to do it. Like, I know a grown man who thinks like that. Older than me. I'm like, did this dude just say he's going to be that way because his dad said so? Like, and for real, I know a bunch of men. It's like they never left their parents' house. You would think, and I thought I was the one that got raised strict. But these people never leave their parents' house but call themselves grown. Like, get out of here with that. Like, you people, it's like you got to walk with them. Anyway, this one's about routine. So let me keep it short on routine. I'll make the other videos about the hypocrisy of the abortion argument. I'm coming at that argument. So I want you to get your arguments ready on that one. And I'm going to also address another video on the hypocrisy of those who speak against those who speak idealism and utopia, common utopia. But there is already a utopia for you anti-utopia people. It's called the 1%'s utopia. That's what we live in. USA, USA, USA. You gets none. You gets none. You gets none. Talking about like we're a country. We're not a country. We are the ruled workers. My friend Stutt this morning wrote me a text. He said, "I'm going to write I'm going to do a video on productive citizens," because that's a fallacy, and I thought about it. He's right. What are we being productive in doing? We're being productive in keeping the rich people rich. Be a productive citizen. What does that really mean? That means shut up, take it in the butt with no Vaseline. We rape every dollar you got. What else do you see going on here? I hate to be so graphic about it, but it's time to start being real, baby. It's time to start talking real. I'm talking to real people. I don't feel like being fake. I'm not Bill Maher. I'm not Bill O'Reilly. I'm not any of these fake people that want to talk to you fake. I'm going to give it to you real. No chaser. That's what's going on in the world. That's how nature sent me to tell you. Anyway, salute. Watch for your routine that you create for yourself. And this also applies for children, because it's the habits that you're instilling in these children early that determine the future. A lot of us, we're adults in physical form, but we know what makes our behaviors, what has caused our behaviors. It's our past. It's how we were raised. It's what we were told. It's what we were taught. It's what we've come to believe. That is what influences our every behavior that we make currently today. That is the reason why you must know history, or you're doomed to continue to repeat it. Because time works like that as well. In cycles. You have a good day.